So welcome to the training, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Hamlin. We are going to talk about several different things tonight, but the primary thing I want you to understand about champion success training for MyCarClub, it's about mindset training. It's about entrepreneur business training. It's about marketing training. It's about making you and I the best version of ourselves possible so that we can have success, not only in the area of business, but in every area of our life as we apply different principles, understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. As we apply that to our lives, we'll be able to see the results that it creates. And so this is our primary theme that you're going to see here. Success is a planned event, meaning preparation is required. So in order to achieve, high levels, no matter what you're doing in life, you have absolutely got to prepare. So now, how many of you saw the fight last night? Well, it was over the weekend. Saw the fight over the weekend. And you saw two men who were at the top of their game, but one was a couple of levels above the other one. It was quite clear because there are levels to success. All right. And so we want to make sure that we are constantly moving up and, just refining ourselves and going to the next level. That's why it's so important that you get on as many trainings as you possibly can. Does that make sense? All right. Absolutely. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right into the topic for tonight's training. We're going to talk about three things: how to connect instantly with people. Now, why is that even a topic? Well, we're getting ready for our event in Atlanta. Many of us are going to arrive, early, and we're going to talk to people basically face to face, wherever we can find them, in the hotel, the beauty salon, the barbershop, gas station. It doesn't matter. Wherever we can find them, we're going to communicate to them about MyCarClub. And we've got a really specific little script that I'm going to share with you a little later so you understand what we're saying to people. Now, what's so interesting is that you can have an event in your own town. Now, this is a corporate sponsored event. Your event probably won't be corporate sponsored, but it could be sponsored by you. And so a lot that you learned today as to what we're doing in Atlanta, you could appropriate it and use it right where you are. You can have a workshop about MyCarClub in the local library. So you have to be kind of smart as to how you present it. And we'll kind of talk about those things. All right. So we're going to also talk about how to invite people. If you are in Atlanta, if you plan on being in Atlanta, we're going to share with you how to invite people right in Atlanta to the event. Now, of course, we're going to be doing a major advertising campaign. We're going to be reaching out to over 70,000 people over the airwaves, the radio, the Breakfast Club, channel 105.3. And we're also going to be on a top 40 pop station as well at the same time. And that's going to help us to pack the room. And so Alan and I, of course, we were doing our part for the event here in the United States. And my primary focus was to make sure that that room is packed. And one of the ways I know how to do that is you hit the airwaves, you advertise. And so that's exactly what we're doing. But we're going to approach it from many different facets. Okay. So of course you can reach people through social media, which is great. You can text people, you can call people, you can email people as well, but you can also talk to people face to face. Now, it's really interesting. When you talk to someone face to face, it's actually the most effective way to communicate. Everything else is a substitution. Okay. The phone, text message, social media, email, they all work and they can produce results, but not like face to face. And so if you want to really, perfect your marketing skills and become a professional, you want to learn how to communicate with people face to face. Now, what's so great about this technique and this education we're going to get today is that you can apply it in every area of your life. What makes life so great? Relationships. And so we want to have, good relationships. And one of the ways you do that is through communication. The third thing we're going to talk about is Atlanta preparation, a couple of things that we're doing in preparation for that. So those will be our topics for tonight. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. So now I've got a video here that is power packed, ladies and gentlemen. It's 8 minutes long, but the education is a master's. It's like something you would get if you were studying for a master's degree. It is quite in-depth and it is quite accurate. And so go ahead and pull your pen out. We're going to start off with this: how to instantly connect with people. Everybody needs to know how to do this, and you might be good at it right now, but you can get even better. All right. So pull out your pen, your paper, how to instantly click with others. Let's watch this.
Do you know the mirroring technique? It's a very interesting technique to use to help us get faster creating a good rapport with people, be on the same wavelength with the person you're communicating with. A few examples. Actually, mirroring is a technique that we all do from nature as human beings. If you walk hand in hand with your partner and you're having a conversation, the conversation will be more smoothly if you both have the same pace. However, if one walks faster or slower than the other one, it has an impact on the speech, on the speaking. Or, for example, if your child has a nightmare, many parents will take that child, put it onto their chest, and have the child follow your breathing to relax. Mirror your breathing. Or if your child fell and wants to tell a story, we're going to kneel down and put our eyes at the same level and then really listen to what the child has to say. So these are techniques that you can use to be faster on the same wavelength. Now, one can use that technique on many different levels. You can use it on the non-verbal level. For example, if somebody has a very low-key body language, and here I am coming with all my gestures, I'm not creating rapport. Actually, I'm going to create disruption, or now I'm going to change the impact and take the focus away. So I'm going to change my body language. Or, for example, same with the voice. If somebody has like a really nice, calm voice, I'm not going to start talking like this with all my intonation. No, I'm going to talk smoothly and really be following that person, having that same pace. Same with language or with words. If somebody has quite an academic language or quite a scientific language, I will follow and use that kind of a language. But if somebody has more like a funny language using humor, etc., I might do the same. So we are at the same wavelengths, and connection and communication is more smoothly transmitted. Same with, for example, clothing. I'm here in a professional context talking about communication skills as a trainer / coach, so this is a professional attire. But if I would use this attire giving training to blue-collar workers, after 5 minutes they would tell me, yeah, that's a really nice story, but go and tell our bosses. So when I work with blue collars, I often, wear jeans and sneakers and a polo shirt, and, so I'm at the same level, just putting myself in the reality of the other ones. Now, one of the interesting things one can do is we can use that. We can use that to put ourselves at the same wavelength, but we can also use it to impact, influence the other's behavior. Very often, I work with people in personal coachings, and sometimes people are really not happy working with me, which I kind of find strange because I think it's always fun to work with me. Anyway, so they come and they sit down and they really are going to hang in their chairs, cross their arms and legs, put their head to the back, and they're like looking at me, and you really see on their face, what am I doing here? He really thinks he knows it all, Mr. Coach. So that is the person I have in front of me, and here I am, full of enthusiasm and passion for my work, and I'm all excited, and I start talking all about it. That guy is not going to listen to me. So what do? I mirror that behavior and actually go and sit the same way, crossed arms, crossed legs, hanging a little bit in my chair, and we start talking. Little by little, I will ask a question or two or three, very smoothly, very gently. And little by little, I will start changing my body language. Open my arms, put myself more straight in my chair, maybe bring my body a little bit forward in the conversation. The magic happens because 95% of people will follow my body language without them even realizing it. Now, my coaching goes easier if I can have this kind of contact than if I have that kind of contact. So we can very easily really start adapting people's behaviors by having them follow you. And that's what people do unconsciously. We want to to blend in, be at the same wavelength with our environment. You can do that on other levels, like culture. For example, you know, being able to know what kind of language in the culture is accepted or not. Or for example, you know, in the Far East, out of respect, they will give something with their two hands, like a business card. So you take it with your two hands, you mirror yourself. A lot of those little interesting intercultural things that can help you to also be at the same wavelength. Now, what is interesting when we talk about this whole mirroring thing is that not only I can lead, but I can also have people follow me. You will see that a lot of politicians use that. Barack Obama was a great example of that. There's great pictures of him now with other politicians where exactly he's now mirroring their gestures, even the clothing. You will see that advisors, when two politicians give a press conference, advisors will contact each other and they will say, what kind of a message do we want to bring across to the media? Do we agree or don't we agree? And when you see that it's a joint message, often people will wear kind of the same clothes, you know, same colors of ties, etc., to match, to mirror. If there's a, you know, I want to show that I'm not agreeing with that person, but you can see that very clearly also in their clothing and in their behavior. Now, last little tip is, for example, sitting at a table. If I have a discussion with somebody face to face and somebody sitting across me, very often that is an energy of different hierarchy, or that is like a boss or like a coach with a coachee, or that is somebody who wants to convince somebody or who wants to sell somebody, or I just want to keep distance from that person. That is what that image gives. On the other hand, if we're sitting next to each other, this is almost too friendly in a professional context. And you will see that quite a few people will turn to see what the nonverbal of that person also says when we're working on a project. I prefer to sit at the 90 degrees. Why? Because we have that corner of the table. We still see each other from the corner of our eyes, but we're working on the same document. It's a great position for evaluation, for sales discussions, for difficult messages. You will see that just by changing the posture at the table, the position at the table, will have automatically a different impact. So I invite you to start playing with this magical technique called mirroring.
All right, all right. All right, so let's see how much of that you retained, ladies and gentlemen. So that was very powerful information. You know, oftentimes to get to the next level, it's really subtle changes, subtle differences. How can you say it? It's, you know, intuition. It's certain tact that you apply and which takes you to that above average level. Does that make sense to everybody? So let's start off with a couple of questions. And what I'd like you to do is if you can answer these questions, I want you to go ahead and just raise your hand. I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer the question because I want to see how much of this you have retained. So what is the purpose of being able to connect with people? Well, first of all, it's going to build your confidence. And whenever you have something of importance that you want to be able to share with them, you will know how to go about doing it, all right, and become better at that. And this is what a lot of us are going to be doing in Atlanta as we begin to go out there and we invite people to the event. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. And I've got a couple of tickets right here, you can see, all right, in preparation to be able to connect with some people and invite them to the event on Saturday. But let's start off with the first question. What is mirroring? What is mirroring? This is what he talked about. All right, how to instantly connect with others. It's called a mirroring technique. Who knows the answer? Go ahead and raise your hand. So we've got 50 people on the call. Somebody ought to know what that is. What is mirroring? All right, I'm going to start with Andrea. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. And welcome to the call. Andrea, how are you this evening? You are unmuted. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Okay, I thought you were unmuting me. Okay, got it. I'm fine this afternoon, and mirroring is needing to size up your audience so that you can relate to them in a non-threatening way, sort of where you take on their demeanor.
Mhm. Okay, so let's give us an example. Let's say you have a person who talks really fast. How should you talk?
You should kind of ask them to slow down just a little bit so that you can assimilate or at least understand them better.
Okay.
That
Now,
puts them in a level of control.
what I would do is I would actually speed up. See, some people, sometimes when you present, for example, you could be talking too slow because some people like to hear faster. All right. Other people like to hear slower. And so if I'm talking to someone who's talking kind of fast, I actually need to speed up. Just like if I'm talking to someone who's talking a little slow, I want to slow it down. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the next person. The next question is, why is mirroring important? Why is mirroring important? Go ahead and raise your hand if you know the answer to that. Why is it important to mirror someone that you are talking to? We'll go to Pastor Kazim. Welcome to the call, Pastor.
Well, again, hello, Brother Mark. I believe it. Why is to be able to have effectively communication with the person that you are trying to connect with and trying to have some cohesiveness to being able to going forward in the communication process.
Okay, very good, very good. Let's see, we have someone on the iPhone. I'm going to unmute you and give you an opportunity to answer that question as well. Why is mirroring important? And if you're on the iPhone, go ahead and state your first name so we know who we're talking to.
Hey, how you doing? This is Demonte.
Hey, Demonte, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Great. So why
Yes.
is mirroring important?
So it makes the other person comfortable. It lets their guard down. So
Yes.
so when you're mirroring someone, like if they rest in their hands, you rest your hands as well, and it will make them more relaxed and they let their guard down and forget about having a guard up and open right up basically.
Awesome, excellent, excellent, excellent. I agree with everything you said, and it helps you to establish that rapport with a person to make them feel comfortable. Thank you for that. All right, here's the next question. We're going to find out if you were listening and how much you retained from this amazing training. Why is it important what you wear? All right, I want to have someone else answer that question. Why is it important what you wear when you're communicating with people? Let's just use an example. All right, so we've got an event, a major event coming in Atlanta in a few days, and the presenter is going to dress a certain way. How do you think the presenter in Atlanta is going to dress for this meeting? All right, and so we've got 55 people on the call. All right, and there was 40-something people when we started this training. So I know most of y'all were on here. So I want to hear from some different people. I want you to raise your hands. Now, if you don't raise your hands, I'm going to call on you. All right. So this is training and it's all about involvement. All right. Let's go to Lewis. So Lewis, the question is, why is it important what you wear and how do you think the presenter is going to dress at the event on Saturday? And you're unmuted, Lewis.
Here we go. Yep. Hey, Mark. So the presenter at the event is probably going to be in professional attire, suit and tie, slacks, dress shoes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so let's just say that you're attending and you're going to be in the audience, but you are a member of the program. How would you dress for that event?
I'm going to dress casual, business casual, just because if I'm bringing my friends and my family, I don't want them to look at me as a CEO. Well, yeah, I do. I'm lying. I do want them to look at me as a CEO, but I want them to understand that I'm with them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you want to come across as, serious about what you're doing. And so when you say a business casual, what would that look like?
I say collared shirt, maybe jeans or slacks still, dress shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could you wear a jacket maybe with an open collar shirt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so now let's talk about this. And thank you so much for that, Lewis. Now we're going to be going out into the community. Some of us, those of us, that are bold enough to go out there, we're going to be going out to the community and we're going to be talking to people about the event that we have. We're going to be distributing tickets. We got a specific strategy we're going to talk about in a moment. How do you think a person would want to dress and they're going out in the community talking to people about this event? All right. And let's see, I want to see some hands. I'm going to go, David, you had your hand up earlier, but maybe you know the answer to this. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, David.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm good.
Great. Going out in the community, because of the weather we've been having, I think I want to be dressed casual.
Okay.
Most of the people I'm meeting on the street will be casual.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to seem overdressed. So I would basically be casual, but sharp.
You got it. You got it. You want to be casual, but you want to be sharp. You almost want to dress to the point where people will actually compliment you on what you have on. All right. So you want to get attention. So you want to look good. You want to be casual, but you want to be sharp. Does that make sense to everybody? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's go to the next question. All right. And okay, now how you dress. Let me change this. I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about joint messages. Joint messages. I had someone contact me today and they said, Mark, send me your link to this car program. He said, I'm a little bit upset with you in a sense, and let me tell you why. He said, you've been posting about all these people who are getting cars. And I got kind of mad with you because I really need a car. And I've seen you talking about this program and I haven't done anything yet. He said, man, send me the daggone link. I got to get me one of these cars. All right. Now, I'm saying this for a reason, everybody. You may not realize how important it is for you to constantly share about the program. Yeah, you don't have to do it every day, but you want to be consistent about it because you need to understand people are watching. Even if they haven't joined, they are watching. And when we promote jointly, not just me, not just Lewis, all of us, we're promoting about the program. Don't you understand that that can create momentum? All right, anybody got a comment concerning that? Joint messages, extremely important. And y'all might be missing that. Not only do we want to, joint message, we want to comment on other people's posts. This is so important. It's such an important activity. Let's go to the iPhone again. Okay, the iPhone is unmuted. All right. iPhone is unmuted.
Guys.
Are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. And what's your first name?
Delonte.
Okay, go ahead, DeMonte.
Yes. So it's important to have all the energy brought together. You don't want to have things like fragmented, especially like in a market. A market like Atlanta or the DMV, like you want to bring it all together. So, or even on the social media, you just want that joint participation because it brings everything, all the energy together.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's important. It's important what each of us brings to the table. It's important that we participate in the process because it actually helps all of us. And this is why one of the reasons why the Atlanta event is so big. Because the bigger it is, the more people we have in that room, that helps all of us, even if you aren't there. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the conversation starters. Often, you just don't know what to say. So here's just a few ideas. And this is something that you can Google. What are great conversation starters? You can Google it and there'll be a ton of information. But one of the easiest things that you can do just to start a conversation with a person is ask a question. One effective tactic to start a conversation is asking a question to a person that you want to speak to. It's very, very easy. Conversation starter. You can give a compliment, of course. People love compliments, especially in this day and age. You can talk about an event or a situation. You can ask an opinion, offer help, ask for help. You can ask open-ended questions where a person will have to elaborate a little bit, not just a yes or a no. And you can share an interesting fact. All right, so we're going to Atlanta. We're going to be communicating with people. You can communicate with people everywhere that you are. And you absolutely want to do that. You want to maximize your time, especially if you're traveling out of town. Okay, so let's continue on. All right, so I want you to look at just a few things. So these are some of the flyers that we're going to be using in Atlanta. And if you decide to do an event in your area, it may not be company sponsored. It probably won't be company sponsored, but it could be sponsored by you and your team. And so this will give you some ideas. A couple of things I want you to notice about these flyers. Do you see MyCarClub anywhere on this flyer? All right, can someone tell us why MyCarClub is not on this flyer? Can anybody tell us? All right, you can raise your hand. So we got 57 people on the call. Does anybody know why MyCarClub is not on this flyer? I want you to think about it. Think about it for a minute. All right, so we got 58 people on the call and only one person knows the answer. Only one person knows the answer. All right, let me just find somebody. I want to go to Dante. Let's see. I'm going to go to, let's go to Giovanni. Giovanni. Okay. Giovanni, you're unmuted. Welcome to the call, sir. How are you? You can unmute yourself. Click on your microphone. You can unmute.
Okay, Mark. Can you hear me, Mark?
Sure can.
Okay, great. Well, you know, we talk about this often, and it just makes sense. Why put MyCarClub on the flyer? It would give people the sense and say, okay, so that must be the name of the company. Let me Google it. Let me put that in YouTube. Let me do an inquiry on it, either in Google, and they'll be misled, or they may feel they already know what's happening, and it would discourage them from coming to the event, particularly if they get the wrong information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have to be smart, even when you're posting on social media. If you put the company name, what need is for them to jump on your webinar or even to sign up with you. They're going to go Google it like we all do. Everybody Googles everything. So that's not a smart approach. All right. Better to give basic information, but don't share the company name until after the person has responded to you and expressed an interest. But you need to understand this. The company has invested a lot of money in this event. We're not telling anybody the company name. If they want to find out the company name, they need to come to the event. When they look at this, they might think the company name is Car Club Atlanta. And that's okay for them to think that. That's not what we said, but it's all right for them to think that. The thing is, we need for them to come to the event. Then we're going to give them all the details. Does that make sense? Absolutely. How about this? Why do we have on this ticket, why do we have complimentary $100 ticket? Can anybody answer that? Why do we have complimentary $100 ticket? Now, you may not believe this, but you're being trained right now. You're being trained on what you need to do should you decide to do an event in your own town. All right. Okay. So I've got 60 people on the call and only 2 people got their hand raised. All right. Must be somebody else that know the answer to this question. Why do we have complimentary $100 ticket on this flyer? All right, let's go to Letitia. All right, Letitia, welcome to the call. You should be able to unmute yourself. Click on your microphone.
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can.
I'm sorry about that. Yes, it's because of the value of the event. We want to make sure they understand that there is value in the ticket, value in the event, and value in the information that's going to be presented to them.
Absolutely. And so we are giving something of value. And so we don't say free. That's intentional. Free is like it has no value. Complimentary has a value. So, you know, we've been very strategic in what we're doing here. And that's why you can follow our lead, because this is not our first rodeo. Are you with me? All right. Excellent. Excellent. Let's continue on. I'm going to look at another ticket here. Okay, so here is another example of a ticket. And if you want to get these, you can email me at powerinthecrowd@gmail.com. You have to spell it out. Power, POWERINTHE, crowd. powerinthecrowd@gmail.com, and I'll send you the artwork for this, and you can get this printed off. And you know, I do it. I got a very simple way that I do it. I literally go to Office Max or Staples, and I tell them I want 4 up. That means 4 copies on a sheet, and then I have them printed on cardstock, and I have them cut it. They can do that all in the same day. All right, so that's what I did here. 4 up on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, cardstock, glossy print. That's it. And you can get them all in the same day. Of course, you can use online services like Imprint and stuff like that, but really simple just to go there. Now, I'm going to talk about the strategy and the technique on handing these out in a moment. All right, so there's another ticket. Now, you notice we've got the logo up there, but it doesn't say My Car Club. It says join the club, get your car. That was intentional because we don't want My Car Club on this ticket. Does that make sense? How do you like those designs? Pretty nice, aren't they? All right, so I have those created on Fiverr, fiverr.com, Fiverr, fiverr.com. You can get anything created over there. Okay, and then we have another ticket here. This is happens to be my favorite. And then when you're passing out these tickets, we're going to talk about the technique in a moment. You literally write your name and phone number on the back. And so when they come to the event, we're going to instruct people to get in contact with the person who invited you here, and they'll reach out to you so that you can get them signed up. So when you're passing these out, you're going to have your name on the back. Now, I want to tell you this: we're not passing out flyers, guys. And, you know, that's a waste of money. If you just pass out a flyer to somebody and you don't get any information, that's a total waste of money and time. We use these flyers and these tickets as a point of contact and an exchange of information. And so when I give a flyer to someone, first of all, I'm gonna hold on to it, and I'm not gonna even let go of it unless they agree to give me the information that I need. Okay, what information do I need from someone when I give them one of these flyers or one of these tickets? All right, I'm gonna click on Karen and see if Karen can answer that question. Karen, can you unmute yourself and can you answer that question?
Yes, Mark. You need the contact information,
Absolutely. Such as what information?
their name, telephone number,
Yeah,
especially in their email.
you got it. Especially their name and their number. So now the strategy that I use and the technique that I use for this, which I've used in multiple cities across the country, ladies and gentlemen, and I have packed rooms with this strategy that I'm teaching you. And you need to understand something. If you're a marketer, this information, this strategy I'm teaching you right now is worth thousands of dollars. It's worth way more than the $33 a month that you're paying for this membership. And so if someone tells you that they're not getting any value from My Car Club, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so when I pass out a ticket and I get that phone number, I'm going to text that person a few hours or day before the event to remind them of the event. So if I gave them the ticket and they gave me their number, they're interested. If I text them, what's the chances that they're actually going to come? I say it's 50% that they're going to come. So if I pass out 100 tickets, I can get 100 people to come to that place on my behalf. Let's just say I only get 25 to come at that place on my behalf. Is that still good? Absolutely. All right. I've got their contact information. I can follow up with them later, and boom, you got something done. So this is what I call organic traffic. You didn't have to pay for it. You didn't have to go on YouTube. You didn't have to go on Facebook. It was natural, organic traffic, and it's the most valuable and the most highest converting contact or lead that you can get because they met you face to face. Are you with me? Does that make sense to anybody? All right. So hopefully you caught that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So now let's go a little further. So what do you say? All right, go ahead and take a screenshot. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. All right, now what you're saying here, this could be said anywhere. in any city concerning My Car Club when you are going to hold an event. Have you heard about the event that's in town Saturday? Now they're going to hear about it because we're advertising on the radio. 70,000 people, 105.3, which is hip hop and R&B, and also 96.1, which is top 40 and pop music. All right, so they're going to hear about it. And if they didn't hear about it, they're hearing about it right now from me. So you have to remember, to start a conversation, one of the things you can do is what? Ask a question. That's what we're doing right here. Have you heard about the event that's in town? Hey, Joe, how you doing? Hey, sir, how are you? All right, hey, listen, have you heard about the event that's coming to town Saturday? All right, hey, how you doing? My name is Mark. Have you heard about the event that's coming to town Saturday? You'll see how easy that is? All right, what is it? It's an innovative car club that offers a new way to get a car with no credit check, no down payment, no financing, and no insurance. Does that sound too good to be true to you? See, a lot of people, they're going to say it's too good to be true. So I'm just going to ask them, does that sound too good to be true to you? Well, here's the thing. At this event, you will learn how, well, I kind of said it too fast. At this event, you will learn how car club members are driving luxury cars of their choice, and there's a misspell right there, are driving luxury cars of their choice. All right. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and fix that right now. I'm going to fix that right now. All right. While we are on this training. All right. There we are. Save. Go back. And go back. All right. So I saw that on the last training and forgot to change it. At this event, you will learn how club members are driving luxury cars of their choice up to $40,000 for just $33 a month. Sound too good to be true? I'm saying that because I know they're already thinking it. So I'm overcoming an objection right now. Sound too good to be true? Well, think about auto insurance in reverse. All right. And then I kind of explain it like this. Watch this. I can explain like this. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this if you haven't heard this before. Okay. Do you have auto insurance? And how much do you pay monthly? If your car was total loss in an accident, where would the insurance company get the funds to replace it? Some of the money is coming from you, but most of it is not. Simply put, insurance companies recover the money it pays on claims from other insured drivers. That's where the money is coming from. So when you think about this program, although the car membership club is not insurance, it's important that you say that. It's not insurance. The funds to provide cars comes from paid subscriptions. Does that make sense? You got that? And then you go right back here. I've got a few complimentary tickets left. You got to say that, scarcity. I've got a few complimentary tickets left. Would you like one? Simple as that. Simple as that. All right. Let me ask you a question. How many of you think that you can do that? How many of you think that you can do that? Raise your hands. How many of you think that you can do that? How many of you think that you can do that? Is that hard? Is that complicated? Now, you can practice it. You can record this on your phone, play it back to yourself, role play with someone, and then actually go out there and do it. It is fun, it is simple, and it is effective. Not only can you do it in Atlanta, you can do it anywhere. That information right there can put thousands of dollars in your pocket. Each and every one of you owe me a steak dinner, and I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you to it. All right? All right. Now let me just go on through here, and I'm gonna ask somebody. I'm gonna ask Yvonne. Okay, Yvonne, welcome to the call. Say hello to everyone. I have a question for you. Yvonne, where are you? Are you there? Click on your microphone. You should be able to unmute yourself. Let's see if we can get Yvonne unmuted. All right, so she has to get used to the Zoom. So let's go down to one other person. I want to go down to Aaron. Okay, Aaron, I'm going to unmute you. You haven't raised your hand. You've been incognito 007 on the call. And Aaron, are you there? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Do you think that you could do that? You think you could say that?
Yeah,
Aaron, are you there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Can
definitely can say that.
Yeah, you think you can say that? Yeah, not
Yeah.
complicated. Not complicated.
Mm.
And so a lot of this is, how can you say it? Sometimes you just have to try something, even though you've never done it before. You just have to try something. It's like trying a dish or some food that you hadn't tried before. You don't even know if you like it because you never even tried it. And some things, if this is out of character for you or something that you've never done before, give it a try, because you might find out that it's not hard, and it actually is enjoyable. And so when we go down to Atlanta, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a great time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So hopefully everybody caught that and you took a screenshot. And of course, this is recorded so you can play it again. Let's go a little further. All right. So here is the event in Atlanta. So the company is investing a lot of money in this. You want to be able to take advantage of that. All right. We got radio ads. We're in a 4-star hotel. It's going to be a full, the event itself is going to be off the daggone charts, off the chart. Let's go ahead and bring Alan in. I'm gonna have him share a few things. And so you want to get registered, MyCarClub, ATL.com. If you want to book a room there, you can save money. You got to do it like right away though. Book room at Whitley.com. You can carpool with someone. You can bring a guest with you. Get down there any way that you can so you can take advantage of what's about to happen here. Let's see if I got Alan on the call. Okay, Alan, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, sir. Welcome to the call. Are you there, Alan?
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me, Mark?
Yes, I can. Welcome.
Hey, man, welcome. Hey, first, I want to say amazing training. And one of the things about training, guys, is that, iron sharpens iron. I want people to really think about that. Iron sharpens iron. No matter how successful we are, no matter how great we are at something, there's always room for improvement. If you look at people like Michael Jordan, people like Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. You think about people like Beyonce. They're at the top of their game when they was on. They went out there and they practiced. They was the first person in the gym, and they was the last person that walked out the gym. They didn't say, hey, you know what? I already got this. I'm already the best basketball player in the world. I ain't even got to come to practice. No, they went out there and they continue to improve. So when people say that, hey, I want to be like, Michael Jordan, I want to be like a Beyonce. Well, what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to get the things that you say that you want? How many hours are you willing to put in to be able to craft that trait? Because remember, you got to be bad before you're good, and you got to be good before you're great. Everything that we're doing right now that we're teaching you is not hard. We're simply just learning something new. But if you're not willing to put in any type of sacrifice, if you're not willing to put in any type of work, then how can you be expecting to have success? Remember, for things to change, you must change. And it first starts by the way that you think, right? Because what you're thinking is simply from that thought, it's going to go into action. From action is going to bring success. So with everybody being super excited about Atlanta, what I could tell you guys is that what Mark has taught you today is like the secret sauce, right? The secret sauce to really go out there to connect with people. Because remember, facts tell, stories sell. When people join these companies, they literally are joining you. They're not necessarily joining the company. They're locking arms with you. So you have to go out there and be the leader that you expect to attract. You're looking in that mirror. You're looking at yourself. Because remember, we're attracting like-minded people. Think about that. We're only trying to attract like-minded people. We're looking for people that are looking for us. There's so many people out here that's looking for what MyCarClub has to offer to people. And I can assure you that there's never an end list of people that are looking for this opportunity. So with that being said, you got to go out there, you got to do something little by little. When they say that, when you hear me use the metaphor of what's the best way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Go out there little by little and perfect yourself, right? Save yourself time, effort, and money. We have a system in place for that. So when you see this event in Atlanta, don't think that, just because you're in Atlanta that you cannot invite people to this event, because you absolutely can. Guys, y'all could do things from going to Craigslist, from advertising on Facebook. You can go to your Facebook post right now and search friends in Atlanta and use that and search it. Put in your search box and type in friends in Atlanta on Facebook. And what it'll do is it'll pull up all your friends that you have all these 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 followers that you may or may not even know all these people, but it's going to pull them up that live in the Atlanta area. And it's a simple conversation. Hey, how's things been going? Hey, I noticed you're in Atlanta. You know, I have an event. I'm really going to personally invite you out. I only have a couple of space for a couple of people, but it's going to be really, really nice event. It's going to be attractive. Things of that nature, guys, you want to pique their interest because you never know which person that you talk to could be that one person that come into your organization and can simply change your life. You know, this is not one of them opportunities that you got to go out there and get 1,000 gazillion people. No, that's not it. The minimum amount of people that you need to make it to the top of the compensation plan is 6. And the minimum amount of people you need to get qualified for the car is 3. So we're talking about just a handful of people. All we do is go out there and gather a handful of people and teach others to go out there and do the same thing. The duplication is so imperative. But duplication only happens and starts and begins with who? With you. So if you're going to go out there and do it as a leader, you got to go out there and show people exactly how it's done. Because if you're going out there and you're not doing things, and if you notice nobody's following you, well, you're not out there leading, you're just out there taking a stroll. So what leaders do, they lead by example. Mark, get on these calls. This is his second call of the day. Second call of the day that he's done this training. That he's done it and sacrificed for each and every single body that's on this Zoom. And there's people on this Zoom that's not even on this team that financially he don't technically benefit from. But overall, we all benefit from each other because why? When the water rises, all boats float. Because we got to make sure that this company is going to be around for years to come, that could be able to take care of our families. So how does that happen? Is that each and every single one of you guys that have success on this Zoom, it all helps each other out. The stability of the company, the more money we bring it in, and we're going to take it all the way to the top. So with that being said, guys, just remember, teamwork makes the dream work, and together everyone achieves more. Back to you, Mark.
All right. Thank you, Alan. Really appreciate it. I'm going to bring on Desire out there in the Washington, D.C. area. And Desire, you should be able to unmute yourself. Welcome to the call, sir. Let's see if he's able to unmute himself there. And if not, we're going to we'll move on to someone else.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. How are you, sir?
We've been doing fantastic, Mark. Thank you so much again for all that you do. Alan, you just nailed it. Mark, and to the team here, I just want to say this, for those who don't know me, I played soccer as a semi-pro. And where we actually perfected our craft, it was on the training, because that's where you become good, because the game is when you go out there and you meet now the guests and you start bringing what you actually learn on practice to make it happen. Basically, that's where you score the goal. And when I don't see, I was just sending messages here to part of people on my team here in the US, say, hey, where are you? I don't see you on the training. Because I often say that this is where the magic happens. It's not when you're in front of a prospect. It's not when you're out there on the street. It's here, basically, because we learn, we go out there, we just apply what we learn. And again, you're giving us all the tools here so we can go out there and just look good and build something that can stay because of the simple system, SYSTEM, save yourself stress, time, energy, and money, that everybody can just go out there and do the same thing so we can build something that can stay and last for longer. Because you guys here, we're all promoters, we're all partners here, we're all members of MyCarClub. Do not forget, we are the foundation of this entire company. So all the other world that's going to be built, it's going to be starting from us. So if this foundation is not strong, solid, 2, 3, 4 level, the team will collapse. So Mark, the system that you're giving us is just a system that is duplicable, because we know that without duplication, you just have failure in the disguise, basically. So this, we can go out there and apply it, and applying it now a few days away from Atlanta, for those who are going to bring the most people in the room, I can tell you, your business will just explode within 33 weeks to 60 days. And this is going to be all over. We're inviting people, Mark. We actually did the French presentation today. We had 3 events today going on, and we're telling people, hey, we have 60 tickets. $100. And we actually paying our promoters reward to actually invite people in Atlanta. And they were away on the other side in Africa, in Europe, and so forth. Just to tell you that we right here in the US, let's take advantage and help our people here to pack that room, because all of us will reap the reward. Mark, thank you so much for all that you do. Back to you, sir. See you in a few days.
Yep, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. All right, so I'm bringing on our last speaker and leader, and that's Mr. Carlos Alvarez. And Carlos, hopefully you're in a place where you can say hello to everyone.
Hey, Mark.
All right, how are you this evening?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that training, man. I'm ready to go. You know, it's amazing. We're definitely at the right place at the right time. We have the right leadership. The training is first class, and it's not just, you know, training that you write down notes with, but it's actual training that you can apply. That's what I'm loving, that you're teaching folks real scenarios, real strategies that you can go out and apply. And it is true that Desire, he invited me to one of his Zooms. There was 100 people in that Zoom today.
Wow, awesome.
You know, and
Carlos, the room was maxed out. We forgot that we reduced that room because most people were sending messages that because they could not get in. And because we reduced the room, now we got to go and extend that room because there were more than 50 people, they were locked out.
Amazing.
It's amazing. And I don't know where in the world, or if there's a book out there somewhere that it tells you, hey, listen, when you join a business, you only got 90 days to succeed. I don't know where people get that from. People sabotage themselves. Oh, I'm just gonna give myself 30 days here. If it doesn't work, I'm out of here. So what are you gonna do next? You know, the next shiny object, I'll give that 30 days. Next shiny object, I'll give that 30 days. While you got leaders here going up the ranks, getting more residual, more cars, more qualifiers, while you're still out there jumping around, and now you want to blame others that it's not working. You want to blame the system. You want to blame the company. There's always an excuse. And I just want to say excuses never work. Now, if you are disciplined, because discipline does work, and Mark comes from a military background. I'm also a veteran. So I do have a military background. And one of the biggest keys that we don't talk enough about is discipline. I was in a conversation today, and I'll end it with this. You know who are the most disciplined people? Are entrepreneurs that have a home office. Think about that. When you wake up in the morning, you got two choices. The couch, be a couch potato, or the home office and be productive. While the rest of you, you know, the rest of the world has a 9 to 5, so they have to leave the house and, you know, build the other person's dream. So you're part of someone else's dream. So understand this, when you see people like us succeeding here, discipline is the biggest key to the success. Discipline. You gotta have discipline. You gotta discipline yourself. You gotta be accountable for yourself. And if you need someone, partner up with somebody to be accountable. But don't treat it like a joke. This is serious stuff. I mean, I don't care how wealthy you are or how not wealthy you are, but an extra $5,000 a day is a big deal. It's a very big deal. And for you to have an opportunity to do that with a $33 a month deal, it's a no-brainer. But please be disciplined. Do not put yourself in a time frame. That makes no sense. There's no book in the planet. Anyway, a book that is written by a successful person that is going to tell you, hey, you only got 30 days to succeed. No such thing. All of us have our own velocity, our own speed. It's the discipline part. Stay plugged in, be involved, apply the training, move forward, get enough no's to get that one yes. I mean, I brought in a high school teacher. They brought in a big networker. Now that networker has qualified for the car, but it pushed me to the next rank. Now, I brought in a high school teacher. I didn't know that high school teacher had a professional marketer, and that professional marketer accelerated me to the next rank. So you just never know. So don't judge anybody either when you get ready to write your list down of the people you're going to talk to or invite to a Zoom or invite to an event. Get everybody on that list because you just never know. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, everyone, the team. You guys are rocking. We are, Mark doesn't say this much, but we are the most active team. Mark has the most active team in the whole company. We are creating a lot of more success stories than any other team in the planet.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's who you connected with.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Really, really appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, man, I hope you got something out of this training. Most important, please apply the information that you have learned so you can get the benefits and see the results. Thank you so much, everyone. We've got an overview tomorrow night at 8 p.m. There's also one at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, the exact same link so that you can invite your guests to that. And I'll be seeing some of you in Atlanta here very, very shortly. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great evening. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, Mark.